Well, I think it probably indicates that they think they can. The best for Dario Saric's development is to be over here with Brett Brown and the Sixers. I think that's probably the biggest impetus for it. I think they probably would have preferred him to be over here last year if they could have, but they knew going into the draft that he had just signed that contract. I think his development and being able to work with him and see him on a day-to-day basis is probably the biggest reason for it.
So we've talked about this before, all right, about what it would take to kind of get him over here. It's not surprising he's playing pretty well. The Sixers like him, and as you said, they would like to have him, developing here. What is his current contract situation?
Yeah, well, it's not a whole lot of published information about European contracts. What I've been told is that he's making €2 million per year. There's no buyout for 2015, and there's an 800,000 euro buyout in 2016. That's the buyout after the 2016 season. So there's currently no buyout. The Sixers and Efes, his team over in Turkey, would have to negotiate a buyout if they want to bring him over this year. If they wait until next season, it would be 800,000 euros.
So, all right, now they're talking about this happening. What would be the pluses and minuses for Saric here? I mean, does he gain or lose anything if he leaves a year early?
Well, I mean, he could lose some money. So the Sixers can only contribute. Let's say if the Sixers want to bring him over now, and Efes, like you said, he's playing very well for them. They're playing in the Turkish League Finals. So he's a very important part of their team. So they're probably not going to give him up cheaply. It's going to be far more than the 800,000 euros that it would be for next year. So if we're talking in, let's say, the $1.5 to $2 million range, the Sixers can only contribute $600,000 towards that. So some of that is basically going to have to come out of what the Sixers can do is give basically a bonus, kind of like a signing bonus type thing, to Saric to give a portion of his guaranteed salary for the next 2 years to him in advance so he can use that towards the buyout. But basically that difference is going to severely limit what he can earn. And, like I said, he was making €2 million per season over in Europe. Key point in that is that that's after tax. So you're going to have to get up really into the $3.5 million range to even get a comparable contract. And the Sixers just can't offer that. So it's really about a financial incentive that, the Sixers just can't match. So he's going to have to decide, how important is playing in the NBA, how important is playing in the NBA right now, and does it make financial sense for him?
Yeah, so basically, Derek, what it comes down to, does Saric want to make more money? And it's not a significant amount of more money, is it? I mean, it's not like he's going to be a poor man in either situation. Or does he want to be an NBA player sooner than later?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not. It's probably about $1.5 million to $2 million if he came over this year rather than next year. Where it's less become significant, we're talking in maybe the $10+ million range, is if he waits 2 more seasons to come over, because then he's not bound by the rookie scale and he can negotiate out of that. So really the big financial incentive for him is to wait 2 years. The difference between this year and next year isn't that great. So I could kind of see him pushing for that, giving up that $1.5 million to $2 million to come now. The big question is whether or not he's going to be willing to, give up the potential of making more money by waiting 2 years to come over. And that's always kind of been my concern.
Talking with Derek Bodner, 97.3 ESPN.com. You can read the full story to get a better, very detailed description of it all. What are, if any, benefits for Saric if he stayed for the remaining 2 seasons more than monetary? Is it just all monetary for him to stay there?
Well, I mean, he's also playing, major minutes on a very good team in a good league in Europe. When you come over to the NBA, especially, a guy like him will have some adjustments, both in terms of style of play and also culturally. You don't always get that immediate playing time. And the Sixers are probably a better situation than most in that they could offer him playing time and that they would really value him playing and developing and getting used to the NBA game, whereas some other teams might be a little more focused on, what he can't do and trying to win him right away. So I think there's less of a concern with that. But, right now the reason he signed over there in Europe before the draft last year is because he wanted to play. And he thought playing a lot was important for his development. And he's doing that, and he's doing that at a high level. So besides monetary, which, like I said, the difference between this year and next year isn't that much, but the difference between this year and 2 years from now could be great. Besides that monetary difference, it's the risk of coming over here and not playing right away. But I think that's fairly limited with this team in this situation.
All right, Derek Bodner, let me ask you this then. In conclusion of all of this, this stuff happens in the past. I mean, there are European players, and how likely is it, do you believe, that he will play for the Sixers next year? Is it ultimately, look, if the Sixers want this guy here, then they're going to get their way, or is it not that easy?
No, it's really not that easy with the way the NBA has, limited what teams can offer. And they really do that so that big market teams don't have that decided edge that financial backing can get them. So there's some, and frankly, Efes, his team could just say, no, we don't, we want him here. No matter what you give us, we're not going to give him up. So I would say there's not a great, between Efes, him being an important part of Efes, if they were not a good team or if they were not financially secure, then I would say there's a better chance. But between them being a good team, the financial incentive from Saric's standpoint to stay, and the NBA limiting what the Sixers can contribute, I'd say maybe 5% chance. I don't think it's very likely.
Wow, 5% chance. You really dampened my day there, Derek. I was excited when I read the article, and I know at the end you said, in short, if Saric comes over, that's great. I'm not counting on it, though. But 5% seems like, don't even think about it. That's not going to.
Even David Picker reported yesterday says he didn't think that it was going to happen. The Sixers are trying. I think they're giving it a legitimate effort. There's just a lot of hurdles in the way before it happens.
Hey, I want to pick your brain on this. I saw a report that a Western Conference executive believes the Sixers would take Justice Winslow, number 3. You buying that?
I think Winslow is certainly a guy that Sam Hinkie would like. I think that combination, that he can play both sides of the ball. I think his ability to defend, his athleticism, and some of the offensive ability he showed, both in his three-point shot where he shot 41% and also his ability to go off the dribble. I think Hinkie would have a lot of interest in that. I'm not sure I see him being one of the 3 guys that Sam likes the most of.
Right, that he's going to pass. That he's going to pass over Okafor.
I've always questioned that fit with Okafor, so I don't think that's completely out of possibility. Mm-hmm. But between Towns, Russell, Moutier, Hazonia, I just think there's going to be somebody he likes more. So if you're telling me that they might look to acquire maybe a second pick and he could be a target, absolutely, I buy into it 100%. Third pick, I'm not quite sure I see it, but it wouldn't be the first time we've been thrown for a loop.
Yeah, in that article it says that Towns goes 1, D'Angelo Russell 2, Winslow 3, and then Okafor would go to the Knicks at number 4. So, that means you're passing over a couple of interesting guys, but D'Angelo Russell would be off the board and Towns off the board. So, you're probably your favorite 2 picks for most fans would be off the board, and that would open up a very intriguing situation. Now, I do know, and you can confirm this probably better than I could, Derek, that Winslow is working out for the Sixers this week?
I'm not certain the day, but he should be working out soon, yeah. I'm not 100% certain on the day, though. I'd have to get back to you on that.